Hello students, these are some doubts from the students of class 11th batch. Around 4 to 5 doubts I have compiled so far, and most of the doubts are from the famous book H.C. Verma. So I am taking the doubts one by one here. This is doubt number 1, which is regarding change in velocity. The concept which is used in this particular question is subtraction of vector. If you know how to subtract vector, then you can easily solve this question. That's the concept behind this question, subtraction of vectors. As you can see that a car is going to due north. That means the car is initially moving to the north direction, and if we define east, west, north like this, then the initial velocity of the car, as per the statement in the question, the car is initially moving in the north direction at a speed of 50. So this you can represent as initial velocity Vi in the north direction, and then the car, it makes a 90-degree left turn. So if we are moving in the north direction, and if I want 90-degree left turn, then 90-degree left turn will be towards the west side. So the final velocity of the car will be to the left side without changing speed, which means length of this arrow, which represent 50 km per hour, and length of this arrow, which represent 50 km per hour. Both lengths are equal because there is no change in speed, only the direction is changed. Now we have to find change in velocity. Change in velocity is defined as, if you want to define change in velocity, then it is called as, the change in velocity is defined as final velocity vector minus initial velocity vector. Take care, they are asking about velocity, they are not asking about speed. If I ask what is change in speed, then you will say it is 0. But if I ask what is change in velocity, then we have to solve it by subtraction of vectors, and that means I have to subtract this vector from this vector. So as a rule of subtraction, I will first draw this Vf vector. As a rule of subtraction, you have to first draw this Vf vector, which is to the left side, and then to subtract Vi, you have to add negative of Vi, because this can be written as V of final plus negative of Vi, and negative of vector will be a vector of same length but in the opposite direction. So this is negative of a Vi vector, which is minus of Vi, you can write it. And now this vector will be called as Vf plus minus Vi. This is Vf plus minus Vi, which you can call change in velocity. And through Pythagoras theorem, you can find the length, because this arrow has a length which represent 50 km per hour. This arrow has a length which represent 50 km per hour. So by Pythagoras theorem, this length which represent change of velocity should be 50 root 2 km per hour, and 50 root 2 will be somewhere around 70. And if you look for the direction part, then this direction is, if I check the directions, then here you have east direction, this side you have west direction, this side you have north direction, and this side you have south direction. So the direction of this vector will be called as southwest. Southwest direction is the direction of change in velocity, and the value is 50 root 2, which is around 70. And therefore option B is correct for this question. This is how you find the change in velocity. Now doubt 2. This is question 18 from same book, H.C. Verma. Again a very fundamental question. Right. So as you can see, they have stated, they have given information about a force on a charged particle in electric and magnetic field. Right. I want you to read this question. I want you to understand what is given in this question and what is required. So they have given a expression. They have given expression for this force F. They have given direction of this E vector along the x-axis. They have given the direction of B along the y-axis. So direction of E vector is given, direction of B vector is given, and now the direction of V vector is required. Direction of E, direction of B is given, direction of V is required in this question on the basis of a condition given as you want net force to be 0, which means this LHS should be 0. Net force to be 0, that means this F has to be 0. And if F has to be 0, then QE must be minus times of Q V cross B. Then only F can be 0. Q being a scalar quantity and it is a non-zero number, so we can cancel it because it is non-zero number and it is charge of particle, it cannot be 0. So E vector should be minus of V cross B. If I take a modulus on both sides, then I get modulus of minus of V cross B. Recall from the cross product that negative of V cross B can be written as B cross V. So mod of E will be E. Mod of B cross V can be written as BV sine of theta, where you can say that theta is the angle between B vector and V vector. That's the angle. So V is now E over B sine theta, V over E over B sine theta. They are asking about minimum value of V. So the minimum value of V will be E over B, and then we want maximum value of sine theta now, because to get minimum V you have to put maximum value of sine theta in the denominator. And as per trigonometry, the maximum value of sine theta is 1. This is 1. Maximum value of sine theta is 1. And that appears when theta is considered to be 90 degree. So if you take theta equals to 90 degree, you will get a minimum value of V equals to E by B. And this theta was nothing but the angle between B and V. As per the directions given in this question, if I take x-axis along this direction, if I take a y-axis along this direction, and z-axis up in this direction, as per the question, the electric field is along the x direction, so this is the direction of E. As per the question, magnetic field is along y direction, this one. This is the direction of magnetic field. One more thing from here, being cross product, if there is equality on both sides, notice that E vector is minus of V cross B. We know that from cross product property, the direction of V cross B, let me write first, this minus sign will be removed now and you can write it B cross V. As per cross product rule, B cross V must be perpendicular to magnetic field as well as velocity. This is the rule of cross product, that the product of two vectors, if you cross them, then this product, which is E, must be perpendicular to B as well as perpendicular to V, because E is the cross product of vector B and vector V. So it has to be at 90 degree angle with magnetic field, it has to be at 90 degree angle with velocity also. So this E is already at 90 degree angle with B, and it has to be perpendicular to velocity also. So velocity and electric field, they are perpendicular. And from here, since theta is 90 degree, which was the angle between B and V, so now it is clear that velocity is perpendicular to the magnetic field also. V is perpendicular to B from this step. this working shows that velocity should be perpendicular to B, and by the cross product you come to know that electric field is perpendicular to V. Otherwise you can say velocity is perpendicular to both the fields and therefore it must be along Z axis. So direction of V should be along the Z axis and the minimum value should be E over B. That's the solution of this question, doubt 2. Doubt 3. Right. Again from the same book, H.C. Verma, question number 8, and it is about a game called Carom. We all know how to play Carom. Let me draw a picture to represent a Carom board. So this square is representing the Carom board, which has 4 holes on the 4 corners. And let's say, as per the question, this Carom has a queen at the center point. This queen is at the center point. It is being hit by some striker. Right? It is being hit by the striker. Let's say the striker is at this point. Let's say the striker is at this point. As per the question, you hit this queen which is placed at the center. And when we hit this queen at the center, this queen will further travel, will move to the front side as given in the question, and it will rebound, it will collide here, it will rebound, and after rebound, this queen goes into the hole at this point. This is given in this question. Right. Now we have to find magnitude of displacement of queen from the center to the front edge, from the front edge to the hole, and from the center to the hole. Dimensions of this Carom board is given to you, that this dimension is 4 in the unit feet and other is also 4. Notice that queen is at the center point. So if this queen is at the center point, this distance must be 2 feet because queen is at the center point. And let's say the queen strike here, which is at a distance x from middle line. Let's say this distance is x. I consider this distance to be small x. This distance is 2 feet. And if it is small x, then the remaining distance on the other side, you can take this remaining distance as 2 minus small x, because the queen is at center, so this half length will be 2 feet, and if this is x, the other portion will be 2 minus x. I will use law of reflection here, according to which if this queen strike at theta angle, then it is reflected back at the same angle. This angle has to be theta. Law of reflection. Now I will concentrate on this triangle. I will focus on this small triangle and I will use tan theta. And if I use tan theta, then it is equals to this distance, which is assumed as small x, over this distance, that is 2 feet. And tan theta can also be obtained from this bigger triangle. From this bigger triangle, you can obtain tan theta from here also. And from this triangle, you can find tan theta equals to this length, which is 2 minus x, over this length, which is 4 feet. And if I solve it, I get x equals to 2/3 feet. I get. Now the answers. Answer of first part. The queen start from here and strike here. First part, what is the displacement? Center to the front edge. To center to the front edge, that means they are asking about this distance, which can be obtained by the Pythagoras theorem. Square root of 2 square plus x square, you have to put the value of x here. B. From the front edge to the hole, so from front edge to the hole is this distance, and length, this distance can be obtained by the Pythagoras theorem again, which is square root of 2 minus x square plus 4 square. And then this length from the center to this hole, from the center to the hole, they are asking about this distance. This is the part C. Well, this can be obtained by dropping a perpendicular from here. So this length will be again 2 feet. This length is 2 feet, and this total length is also 2 feet. So here is a triangle, right angle, 2 feet, 2 feet, and this distance will be again by Pythagoras theorem, square root of 2 square plus 2 square. So that was the solution for question number 8 from HCV chapter vector. Right. Doubt number 4, which is question 17 from the same book, same chapter, vector. Concept used is the understanding of cross product. The concept for this question is how well you understand cross product of vectors. In this question, it is given that there is a particle moving on a straight line. Let's say this is the straight line, and on that line we have a particle P which is moving with velocity V. A particle is moving on the straight line with velocity V. O is a fixed point somewhere O is the fixed point, and I connect point P from O, I get a vector which is called OP. Notice O is the fixed point, but this particle is not fixed, it is moving. So after a few seconds, the location of particle will be ahead of this point because this point is moving. So if you wait for some time, this particle will be somewhere on the line ahead of this point. Now if I take OP cross V, if you take OP cross V, then its magnitude portion will be length of this vector, which you can write length OP, length of V, or otherwise magnitude of V, and sine of the angle between these two vectors. And if I denote, then if you extend OP to the front side, so this is the direction of OP vector, and this is direction of V vector. So you will take theta, this theta as angle between OP and V, and you will put sine theta here. Now if I drop a perpendicular from O on this line, and let's say this distance is D, and in this triangle if I find some trigonometric ratio, because if this is theta angle, then opposite angle is also theta. By trigonometric ratio, if you find sine theta in this triangle, it should be the perpendicular length, which is small d, over the hypotenuse length, that is the length of OP. And that means ki OP multiplied by sine theta, OP multiplied by sine theta is nothing but d. So here you have sine theta, here you have OP. So this product can be written as d. So now it is V multiplied by D. Answer is V multiplied by D. Right. Now understand, if after some time the particle P is now ahead of the previous point, it is somewhere here, then your OP vector will change. You will have different OP now. This vector will be considered as OP now. But if you follow same working, let's say this is point P dash. Let's say it is point P dash. Now at point P dash, if I find OP dash cross V, and then it is length of OP dash into V into sine of angle between these two vectors. Now I take angle between these two vectors as alpha. But again, if you focus on this triangle, if you focus on this right angle triangle, which include OP dash, this bigger length and this D, opposite angle will be alpha. If you find sine alpha, then you can write sine alpha is equals to D over OP dash, and by same argument OP dash into sine alpha will be D into V. So you can see the result is same. The result is not changing. OP cross V is not changing even if particle P is moving in the forward direction. And that was the question, that we have to prove that OP cross V is independent of position of P. At position P and at a different position P dash, at both the positions, answer is same. So these were the 4 doubts from the H.C. Verma book. There are 2 more will be discussed in the next video now. Take care. Bye bye.